quiet, forgotten corners of the world, there are doors. Doors that shouldn't be opened. The kind that lead to places better left unexplored, to things best not seen. Tonight, in a house long abandoned by light and life, a knock was heard. But it wasn't any ordinary knock. This one was from a place where no mortal soul should ever tread. And as the wind howled, the air grew colder. The silence between the knocks stretched longer, as though something was waiting. A young man, dressed in a tattered shirt and jeans, sat nervously on the floor, looking up at the door, his face pale, eyes wide with fear. He hesitated for a second, but finally stood, slowly approaching the door. The knocking is louder now, unmistakably forceful. With a trembling voice, the man asked, "Who's there?" The door handle begins to turn slowly, as though a heavy, unseen hand is grasping it. The young man steps back, but the door slowly opens by itself. When the door opened, there was no light beyond it, only an inky, endless blackness, a pit that seemed to swallow everything. The man gasps and steps backward, but it was too late. Something is standing in the doorway. The figure that steps forward is a tall, shadowy form, indistinct yet terrifying. It moves with unnatural speed, taking the shape of a man, but with eyes that glow red like embers. The sound of the storm grows louder, merging with the rhythm of a heartbeat. The figure asks in a deep and raspy whispering voice, "You've been waiting for me, haven't you?" The man didn't know why he opened the door. Maybe he thought it was a dream, or perhaps he was simply curious. But what stood before him wasn't a man. It wasn't human. It was the devil. The devil tilts his head, his smile widening, revealing jagged, blackened teeth, then chuckles. "I'm not here to take your soul. Not yet. But I'm knocking, aren't I?" He steps closer. The man looks at the devil, trembling with fear, and asks, "Why? Why are you here?" The devil replies, "Because I've come for something far more precious than a soul. You see, every knock on heaven's door isn't about letting someone in. It's about letting someone out. And tonight, I've come for you." The young man had heard the stories, people who made deals with the devil, only to be cursed to eternal suffering. But this wasn't the same. This wasn't a simple offer of power or wealth. The devil's knock wasn't for any of that. He was here to collect what wasn't his to take. The devil's form becomes clearer. His voice deepens. "Tell me, child, when you hear the knock on heaven's door, do you answer, or do you let me in?" And as the man's hand hovered over the door, he realized that the real terror wasn't the devil himself. It was the door, the one that led to the unknown, the one that called to those who dared to listen. For some, the devil's knock is an invitation. For others, it's a warning. It's time to answer. Who's knocking at your door tonight?